I'm currently in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm currently in an Airbnb and I've permanently relocated to Africa. So, although I'm in Nairobi right now, I live in Uganda. I live in Jinja, that's where my home is. And the reason I'm in Kenya right now, I'll get to this later, is because I've come back to Africa. I've come back to East Africa because I want to invest and build the African continent. And I don't mean that in a hypothetical saving Africa kind of way. I mean that in a very specific way. So I decided that rather than living a comfortable life in London, working in a very comfortable career in financial services, I prefer to come back home, contribute my skills and my knowledge and my resources and my network and leverage that to have lasting impact on the continent. Yes, making money, I'm here to make money, of course, but also to have impact in terms of boosting economies, creating jobs, creating opportunities for those who don't necessarily have access to the opportunities that are outside Africa, outside Uganda, outside Kenya. So that's kind of like what I'm here for. That's kind of why I moved back. So I'm now permanently living on the African continent. This has been a long time coming. And this is just the beginning, really. This is just the beginning. So of course, I'm dedicating the rest of my life to this vision of investing in Africa. And this is exciting. This is exciting. As for Nairobi, I'm in Nairobi because I have attended like a few different events here. I attended one called China Trade Week, which is a trade show with a bunch of manufacturers, primarily from China. And I also attended a random event called International Cowboys and Cowgirl Day. And funnily enough, even though that event was so random, I feel like that random event had a higher impact on my goal than the China Trade Week event. Even though the China Trade Week event was an actual business event, the Cowboy Cowgirl event was, and this is actually one thing I learned. One thing I learned about networking. It's not really about the event, it's more about the people there. And in the Cowboy Cowgirl event, I had a bunch of my friends in Nairobi who were all doing really, really massive things, running companies, doing investments, running funds, hanging out with like government officials, basically rubbing shoulders with senior people in Africa, all around the continent. And just being in that space with my friends and being around them and just hanging out, having food, drinks, dancing and whatnot. It was primarily a party, but the company is what really made it. So as a result of that event, I've been given like an opportunity to actually go to Zanzibar. So I was going to go to Uganda today, but I have cancelled that plan. I'm not going to go to Uganda. I'm going to go to Tanzania instead. So I've come from Uganda. I'm now in Kenya. And next, I'm going to Tanzania. So this is really, really East African. This is like an East African tour, so to speak. Yeah, so the reason I'm going to Tanzania and the reason I have the opportunity to go to Tanzania is because there's a specific event happening there I think it's called Zanzalu or something like that. But it's basically an event where a bunch of, investors, tech people, policymakers come to Zanzibar and just have a 3-week pop-up event, as they call it, where there's a bunch of different sessions where they talk about different opportunities in Africa. I'm primarily going on with the focus on manufacturing, export-oriented manufacturing. And my friend who I met at the Cowboy Cowgirl event, who's kind of like leading some of those sessions, is going to put me in touch with some very, very interesting people in the manufacturing space, which could lead to something very exciting, like potentially working with these people in manufacturing, which is a lot better than me trying to do manufacturing or trying to invest in Africa on my own, especially since I haven't really got a background in manufacturing as of now. But anyways, I just wanted to shoot this quick update video, just a quick off the cuff, no editing, no fancy cuts. The key takeaway is I've now left London. I now live in Africa. I live in, I say Africa because I live in Uganda, but I'm in Kenya right now. And tomorrow or tonight, I'm going to be in Tanzania. So I really am in multiple different countries at this present moment in time. So that's why I say Africa, because I believe Africa is really, I believe in like, uniting Africa and stuff. That's a separate conversation. Overall, life is good. I'm enjoying Nairobi. Let me just quickly show you the apartment, the Airbnb. So like this is the Airbnb. It's a small one, and of course the view behind me over there. It's a very nice view, which is very common in Nairobi with a bunch of high-rise apartments. There's even one being constructed over there in the background. But yeah, this is a super quick video. Hope you enjoyed it. More blessings, more life. Invest in Africa. Let's go.